Hello, and welcome to my first ever YouTube video. If you found this video, that means you too are sick of trying to find audio-descripted origami tutorials. And today we will be making an origami swan. It does flap its wings, which I personally really like. And don't worry if you are the average person and don't have origami or square paper on hand, as most people probably don't. We will be starting today with a rectangular piece of paper. Sorry, I can't see. So rectangular piece of paper. So the first thing you're going to want to do is stand your paper up so it's longer or so it's taller than it is wide. Like so. Taller than it is wide. You're going to take the top right corner and fold it so that the top edge is then flush with the left edge, like so. And if you're hard of seeing like I am, you can do this right here and use your fingers to kind of suss it out and feel when it's flush and then crease it all the way down that angle. That'll give you a sort of angular bend down the sheet of paper like this, and you'll end up with a little bit hanging down off the bottom right here. And what you're going to do then is you're going to hold it upside down so that little excess bit is now on top. And you're going to fold it back until it is flush with the square part, like so. And again, hard of seeing people can just use their hands to feel when it's flush and then crease along that edge like this. Alrighty? The next step immediately following this is, there are two ways you can do this. I'm going to show you my way just because it's the way I've been doing for years. You can take it, fold it back over the other way, again along that same crease. You don't need to make a new crease, you're just going to fold it the other way, press it down, and this is just to prevent paper cuts, because what you're going to do next is just grab it, pinch, and run your fingernail along the crease here to kind of straighten it out, not straighten it out, but thin it out, make it a bit weaker, easier to rip along that line in a moment. And there are a few ways you can do this. You can fold it back and forth and just crease it every time you do, maybe 5 or 6 times. Or simply you can lay it down and kind of just run your nail along it like that so you don't have to hold it. I just like to do it this way, and then you're going to very gently just kind of tear along that creased line. And what this is going to do is it will turn your rectangle into a square. And the square is what's needed for this, so once I do that, hopefully I don't mess it up. I am notorious for that, let me tell you. So once you're down to the square like this, we can begin. And you'll have this little bit of excess. You can just put that off to the side. You won't need it anymore. But don't crumple it up yet, as you might find some use for it later on. You never know. So now you have this. You can open it up. You'll have your square sheet of paper. The first thing you're going to want to do is fold it in half. Again, you want it to be flush, so those of you who are hard of seeing or unable to see can use your fingers to feel it out till it's flush on the 3 sides, looking a bit like a hot dog bun, I'm going to call it. I know it's not really going to help calling it hot dog or hamburger because it's a square. Whatever way you fold it, it's going to be a hot dog. Alrighty, once you have that done, what you're going to do is open it up like it's a book, like this, like a book, and you will then fold it in half the other way so that the spine of the book is now getting folded down, like so. And you're going to want to crease that as well. Not super complicated, just a little tedious. And at any point, if you feel like you want to pause this video or skip ahead to a part you don't know, you're more than welcome to. So now you have this here, and it's got little bits poking out on either side. What you're going to do is you're going to want to grab it. Whoops. You're going to want to grab it and pinch it, not in the middle, but close to the middle. And you're going to want to bring your hands in, kind of down a bit, not down, but you know, it's not going to want to cooperate wholly. So you're going to bring your hands in, and that middle will pop up, and then you'll have the other sides poke out, one closer to you and one further from you. Okie doke. And from there, what you're going to do is you're going to take the side that's further from you and pull it to the right, and the side that's closer to you, and pull it to the left. So you'll end up with this diamond shape. And once again, you're going to want to make sure it's flush. So you're going to want to line those top edges up, and once more, for those who are hard of seeing or can't see, you are more than welcome to use your fingers to line it up. I have found that it actually makes it a little easier to measure it as far as flushness goes with your fingers. So you end up with this diamond shape here. Sorry for my moving all around. I can't actually see my screen, so I'm not sure if I'm on it. So once you have this, what you're going to do next is you're going to take these sides. There's two layers now, top layer, bottom layer, or closer layer, further layer. Doesn't matter how you phrase it. And you're going to fold them into each other like this, effectively making the exact same shape. The only difference is you will now have a line going down the middle of it. And this step isn't strictly speaking necessary, but it helps with locating the middle for the next step. Because now what you're going to do is you're going to take these corners, left or right, and you're going to want those creased parts that I will probably refer to as the closed bit from here on out. You're going to want that on top. So when you lay it down, you're just going to lay it down with that closed part further from you. And what you're going to do is you're going to take the left side or the right side, doesn't matter which, it'll be both in the end, and you're going to fold it up towards that top point, but just into the middle. So give me one moment and I will do it on mine, and I will show you what it looks like. Just to the middle though, you're going to want it to filter kinda, or taper I guess would be the word, to a point all the way at the bottom on the open side. And that line that is now going down the middle will be your guide, because you're not going to want to go past that line. So it'll look like this once you do the first side, with just that angular sharp angle going up and then stopping right about here in a straight line. And you are going to do the same thing again on the left side, and I will show you that in just a moment. Apologies, I only have my computer's built-in camera, so I can't show you what I'm doing at the moment, but you know, it's pretty self-explanatory. Just bending that corner up towards the top, and again just into the middle here, like so. I think I'm on camera. So you can see it here, it's got that straight line going across the top, and it looks a bit like a kite now. So after this, what you're going to do is you're going to flip it over, so now the unfolded side of the diamond is now facing up, and you're going to do just the exact same thing on that side. And what you're going to do is, just as I said, fold it up towards the top, but just into the middle. You're not going to want to go past the middle, as this is going to turn into the parts of the swan, and you're going to want them to have their own space, you know? You're going to want them to be even on either side, but have their own space to move, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So you will end up with this skinny diamond. I kind of equate it, it reminds me sort of the Volcom diamond. You know, the skate company, but not really at the same time, I guess. I'm just kind of rambling, I've never done this before. So now you have this shape here, pointy diamond with a little triangle poking out on top. And I may not have mentioned this, but you are going to want to try and get those two parts you folded up to be flush and level. I believe this side is. There we go. And, you know, if it's not, that's fine. But, you know, perfection is perfection. So if you want it to be, try to get these two up at the same height. Because what you're going to do next is you're going to take this extra triangle at the top here, and again this is the closed portion of the fold, so these were the initial creases you made. You're going to take it and you're going to fold it down just at the corners of it though. You don't want to bend the parts you folded up, you just want to fold down at the corner like this and kind of over cover them a bit, and you're going to want to crease that as well. So that's a nice hard crease. And what you're going to do after this is open it all back up to that diamond, and then you're going to kind of run your fingers up like this, and it'll separate that top layer, and you're going to want to take that and bend it up and over. And it doesn't really like to cooperate on this part, it's a little annoying. So you're going to want to take your fingers and kind of at that corner part, kind of run them up the inside of that part you're folding up and over. So it kind of works itself out and folds itself up as you do that. So you'll end up with this here. And you're going to do the exact same thing on the back side. So once again, you're going to fold that triangle down just at the corners, not bending anything that you folded up like this. And you're going to end up like the same shape again. You're going to open it back to that diamond. Run your fingers, kind of scrape them, I guess would be a better word to use. And it'll separate that top layer, and you'll take that and go up and over like this, kind of running your fingers along the inside as you do it, because that portion doesn't like to fold back on itself, so it kind of helps it do its job, I guess would be a way to phrase it. And you will end up here at what I affectionately call the fox's face, because you got the ears up here, and then the face of the fox down here. And now we are almost done. This is going very quick, so it won't be much longer now. Now that you have the fox face, you're going to want the ears facing up and the face facing down. And what you're going to do from here is you're going to take it, and it'll have that, that separation that the diamond also had. You'll open up that one side like this. You'll kind of pull it. You'll separate. If you're laying it down, you'll take the top half of the right side, well, the top layer of the right side, and open it like this. And you'll do the same on the bottom, so your face will look like that now if you're looking at it straight on. It'll just have one side being a regular face and the other side kind of gone. And what you're going to do is you're going to take that one ear and fold it all the way back onto itself. And you will then reclose that face the same way it was opened. So now it's just the fox's face minus one ear. And you are going to do the same thing to this other ear now. So you're just going to open that fox's face like you did before. Fold this ear all the way back on top of itself, and then close that face the same way you opened it. You want to make sure that you're closing it the same way it was opened. This way you have the same folds present, and you will end up with what generally, roughly approximates a triangle. You may have some parts sticking out, you may not, but as long as it roughly approximates a triangle, you're fine. And you may need to do some finagling with those ears. Sometimes they don't want to line up and close properly, but you want them to close still pointed, and so that the edges here are as close to flush as you can get them. And once you have this, we're now in the final stages. What you're going to do is you can pick whichever side you want to be the face. That's usually the side with the better point. So for me, this will be the face. So you're going to take the other side and pull it out just a little bit, kind of like this. And you'll drop a crease on the bottom here so it holds its shape. And then you'll do the same thing to the other side. You'll reach up and you'll pull it out just a little bit, maybe just a little bit more than that first piece. Okay, because this side here is going to be the face. So what you're going to do is from here, you'll run your finger up the inside just for help. And you'll fold it down into itself, but not all the way, just a little bit. So it pokes out after you crease it like that, and that'll be the swan's face. Alrighty, and now the final step, arguably the easiest step, is you'll take the wings here and you'll fold them towards the head at an angle so that they're like this. And you want to take that back, all the way back until it hits another portion of the folds and stops going. Alrighty, and then you'll crease that as well. And then the actual final steps, you will take the other wing and do the exact same thing with it. And it'll be a little easier because now you can just line it up with the one you've already done. And then just crease as well. And now you'll have your swan. And if you'd like, after that, you can froof out the wings, as I like to call it. Just push them up so they're standing out. Pinch under the head here. And then pull the tail out. And it will flap its wings. And now you have a swan that flaps its wings. And if you have the little bit of excess paper from the beginning, you can start this video over, and you will have enough extra paper for about 3 smaller birds that you can turn into squares. And I'm probably going to have to film this again because my sister just walked in. But that is it for the swan video. So if you are like me and visually impaired and sick of not being able to find audio descripted origami tutorials, let me know. And feel free to take a picture of your swan and post it in the comments, I suppose, and let me know how it came out. I mean, you don't really have to take a picture of it. Just tell me how it came out, because I won't see the picture anyway.